I was in Kazakhstan last weekend calling some fights, and I got to tell you, those guys in that part of the world, they do not mess around, Frank. Those guys train hard, and they just go at each other hard and prepare themselves crazy whenever they compete.
It's interesting. I talked to my brother this morning, who's actually in right now for New Year's Eve with his wife, and he was talking about he went to a school to train, and he's lasted about 5 minutes through the warm-up before he's like, I gotta get out of this. These guys are gonna hurt me. And these are just old business guys. They're not real fighters. He's like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Tentative start by both of these guys, Frank, as we can see here, checking out the distance. No real feints just yet to see. Switching the stances. There's the first kick thrown. Switching stances is Musayev. Tyson throwing the low leg kicks. Musayev sort of stalking his opponent, Frank, trying to bring him closer to the ropes.
Musayev has switched stance about 5 times so far and really hasn't thrown anything other than a couple of feints. He tends to start off like this. It takes him about 3 minutes or so before he actually really gets into a battle, unless he gets hit. If he gets hit hard early, then he immediately turns it on. But he's very patient, has a very good understanding where the fight goes, but Tyson's a little bit more anxious and wanting to get inside as quick as possible.
What are you seeing now with Musayev's eyes? They're not moving, they're fixated on his opponent's eyes. He doesn't look at what he's striking at. When he throws a kick, he doesn't look down. Now we're seeing some feints by Tyson with the right leg. Side kick there by Musayev.
No setup, just kind of stepped into it. You know, that switching stance sometimes makes you fall asleep. You keep switching his stance back and forth. You're not sure when he's going to start to spin. He just kind of stepped into that spinning kick. It was very easy to block. I would have liked to see a couple jabs before that just to get Tyson kind of wanting to strike. Then he goes in that spinning back kick.
I mean, a 9-fight win streak for Musayev heading into this fight here. His confidence must be through the roof right now.
And I don't care if they're all 2-8 cans. The game up for 9 fights in a row and win all those 9 fights is very difficult because stuff happens in training camp, stuff happens in the fight, stuff happens in weigh-ins. And to be on a 9-fight win streak is incredible. And if he wins tonight, it's 10 fights. I mean, think about that. 10 fights in a row he's won at 13-3. That's a huge accomplishment.
This one is scheduled for 3 rounds. The distance is slightly getting a little closer between these two gentlemen, Frank. It's going to get to the point now where something's going to have to happen. There's a nice right hand. There's a left hook thrown there by Musayev.
Quick note, just for everybody at home, Joe, elbows are not allowed in this fight. And so you're going to see a little bit of a different style if one of these guys gets on top of the ground and pound.
Are you surprised that they both agreed to no elbows, or do you think it was one count?
I got to be honest with you. And most people don't know that both guys have to agree for the elbows. If one guy says no, there are no elbows allowed in the fight. And I think it was one count said no elbows. And I could be wrong, and I'll get yelled at if I am wrong. But I think Tyson's camp says they don't elbows.
3 minutes into the round.
So we got less than 2 minutes to go here. Opening round scheduled for 3. As Frank mentioned, no elbows are allowed to be thrown here, but the distance, in my opinion, I think is going to start changing here only because I think both of these fighters are going to have to realize, look, this is Ryzen. This is a New Year's Eve show. You're going to have to pick up the pace here if you want to come back.
And not only pick up the pace, but have to throw more than one punch and one strike at a time. Just missed.
Just missed.
I heard toes on the forehead. Toes have become a very big topic in MMA over the last 24 hours.
Yes. There we go. Now we got a bit of a clinch, Rick. Here's some disengagement there. Well, like you said, maybe it takes a bit for Musayev to wake up. He needs to get punched. We've gone past that 3 minutes that you mentioned earlier that it takes him a while to get things started. But it is a 15-minute fight, Frank. You got to pick up the pace.
You know, it seems like 15 minutes is a long time when you're in actually doing. It's really not that much time. A couple quick exchanges each 5 minutes. You might have. We've been watching this fight now for over 4 minutes. There's only been one real super tough exchange. Nothing else has really happened the entire fight. But both these guys are thinking, I might have to conserve energy if this goes to the 3rd round.
No, it's not like it's a 25-minute fight, like a championship fight, or the first round being 10 minutes potentially, second round being 5 minutes. Either way, you've got to be able to pick up the pace here. It's easier said than done, of course. You know, we're not the ones that are in the ring right now, but the way things work here in Japan, you've got to show that excitement. Anything can happen in a fight. It can change in the blink of an eye. Both these guys, trepid in terms of their game plan so far.
Really no super anxiousness on either one of them trying to push this. Wow.
There, spinning back fist. Ooh, he felt that. Tyson's not moving out of that corner, Frank. He just controlled winch right there.
He got caught in the rib with that kick. Yeah, put a right below his liver, so it's just really hurt him.
Well, there's the takedown that we were expecting a little bit earlier. But he's not going to be able to do much right now. Maybe be able to land in a couple shots. That was a no before.
Okay, so
Tyson is just getting up really slow.
He got hit in his rib. He took some air out of him. He's going to recover between the rounds, but Joe, I gotta be honest with you. That was an elbow. That was an elbow. He threw an elbow when he got on top. He threw the one and went right back to a hammer fist. But still, here we take a look at it. Quick grab. He was looking up for a standing head and arm choke. Missed it, backed out, immediately backed away. In that position, both guys should just attack and try to step in as hard as they could. It would have changed how the game went. And see, that punch was a little bit too short. If he had opened his arm up a little bit more, he would have hit him hard in the side of the head and would have put him down. Here comes the elbow. That's an elbow. But according to our notes, there's no elbows allowed in this fight. So we'll see what happens.
Now,
sorry about that. I had to double check my notes real quick, Joe. I had to make sure I was looking at the right fight. There's definitely no elbows allowed in this fight, as far as our notes say.
Now, in terms of Musayev, if you're in his corner, what advice do you give him?
You got to pick up the pace. You got to step in. You've been trapping him very well. You've been catching him, but you trap him and then you don't continue to step in. You sit behind the jab, get inside. As he backs away, spinning kick him. As he runs away from you, he's going to run away. He doesn't want to stay inside that position. Tyson's got to stay tight, keep his defense tight, and every time that
But Tyson said before this fight, I want to stand and bang with this guy. I want to punch him in the face.
Which is great. I mean, that's obviously great in the pre-fight stuff and the hype for the fight. But now you're in the fight. You've got to make the right choices and the smart choices on how you're going to win this. Oh, wow. Just caught him with that overhand right into a double leg shot. I apologize, it wasn't overhand right. It came with a straight right. Good side control. Now, see, this is what we're talking about, the difference between a ring and a cage. In the cage, if he's stuck against the edge, there's no place for him to go. But here, against the ring, is a spot to get his hips out, a spot to get his back out of the way. So it does definitely change how you approach the fight when you're on top of somebody. You really have to tie somebody down a lot more inside of a ring when it comes down to ground and pound and grappling.
Well, the only way they can use it like a cage would be right against that corner post here. Now, Tyson does have that right underhook. How much of that is going to help him here? If he's not using it, though. He's taking punches to the head. Referee's had enough, Frank. That is it.
So to answer your question, it's going to help out a lot. You put him in a great position, a great spot, and he finally accelerated when you saw them. When he finally accelerated, the fight was over. But it took him a while to get that acceleration point.
Tufik Musayev from Azerbaijan comes all the way to Japan, emerges victorious. Didn't take much. It didn't take much, to be honest with you. As soon as he was able to get that punch and get that fight down to the ground, it was pretty much game over, Frank.
I'm super surprised it took him that long to get started, especially with a guy that he knew he was better at striking overall